Welcome everybody, welcome to another video. In this video we're going to be looking at some animation methods. I'm going to show you how you can do some animation with a simple free piece of software called Anime Effects. Okay, Anime Effects or Effects. Okay, this software is free and is very simple to use, and you can have like frame animation in it. It's not for art, okay, it's not for doing art, it's only for doing animation with any images that you wish to bring in. I've not found a way of importing a whole image sequence, but you are able to bring in images like one by one and actually have them change over time, like as in like frames also, okay. But the kind of animation that this software is really good at is, again, still 2D animation, but it's mainly not for frame animation. It's mainly for, depending on how you use it, of course, but it's mainly for like rigged 2D animations. So like it's very, very good software actually. Even though it's very simple, it's really good for things like motion comics type animation. If you know what that's all about, take a look at motion comics online. It's kind of animation. Please excuse me, I'm a little tired here. Yeah, this software is a software, you know, it's a software that you can get. I mean, I've not used it like often because I stick to my frame animation mainly, but over the years I have used another piece of software on my computer, which is this piece of software here, Anime Studio Pro. Okay, I've got Anime Studio Pro 11, but it's also called Moho. Okay, Moho. Similarly, you've got Manga Studio or Manga Studio here, which I have EX5. It is 5EX. Manga Studio is mainly for comics, and Anime Studio is for animation, the rigged type mainly. But as I say, basically, Manga Studio is also under the name Clip Studio, okay, or Clip Studio Paint, or just Clip Studio. And I believe the new versions do actually have animation features in them too, like for frame animation, okay. And it's a very good software, Manga Studio, or you know, Clip Studio, if you want to call it that. But yeah, we're looking at these two though here, okay, Anime Studio and Anime Effects. Anime Effects is like a free and very, very cheap, simple, I mean it's free, and I mean it's a very simplified version of like that. It's very similar to Anime Studio in what you can do, but the rigged animation with the bones, okay. They call them puppets. It's when you have images basically, and you can group images together or leave them as single images and put these bones within them and make them move around like skeletons basically. People do this a lot for like creating movements for animations, for like 2D game character creation, as well as animated cartoons. But you know, this is very good for things like South Park kind of style animation. Keeping in mind the old versions of South Park just used to have like frame animation anyway. But there's another piece of software which is very, very good, okay, and that's called OpenToonz. Okay, OpenToonz with a Z or Z, okay. OpenToonz, you really need to check that out. That's like that's firepower, man. I mean that's really good. It's better than this, and it's more closer to Anime Studio, I would say. But if you want a simple, straight up to the point animation software which can do some frame animation, but it's mainly for you know, rigged 2D images like animation, like motion comics, or even if you just want to edit together some images and make them into a video, you can do this very well with this software. I will be showing you how to use this in this video. If you want to skip along, you're free to do so. But before we can start really working with this, before I can start showing you what we can do with this, I will have to make some images. So I've got a little basic idea in my mind. What I'm going to do is I'm going to place this up here for now. I'm going to open up my favourite art software again, Krita. I also like Fire Alpaca. They're both great, you know. I even have Photoshop as well, but I'm just saying, you know, I love Krita, okay? It's great. Manga Studio is great too, as I say. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create our backdrop first of all. So I'm going to make a sky really quickly. I'm going to make a very simple, like cartoony scene with a blue sky, okay? A blue sky and some clouds. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a bird flying in the sky. Just a bird flying in the sky. So it doesn't get too hard on the eyes, I'm going to actually fade that a bit, blur the clouds as well a little bit there. Just blur them a little bit to make it a bit more easier to see what we're doing, okay? Just using the blending brush, as I say. So that's like a little, you know, thing there, okay? So there's our sky, and I'll save this, I'll name these two, okay? So I'm going to save this on the desktop as, I'll make a folder for this as well actually. I'll just call it A, folder A for animation. Go into there, this is a sky, okay? We'll do this really quickly, just create some quick images. You can use, I could have just used photos if I wanted to, you know. Okay, but yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm gonna make, let me think about this. I'm just thinking now what to do. Hang on. Okay. Okay, let's look at this. Okay, basically, I'm gonna have a bird. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually I'm gonna do just one bird with flapping wings. Basically, that's what I'm gonna do. Okay. So let me just do that. First of all, what I need to do is I need to have. I'm going to do the body separately, okay? I'm going to do the body separately to the rest of the bird. And I'm going to do the wings as one image, but like two wings in the one image. And there's a reason I'm going to do that, okay? Because I want to show you how you can group images together. That's what I basically want to show you, okay? So let's just do the bird's body first of all. So let's just do a simple bird. I'll do a tail and stuff as well. It's probably going to look like some kind of duck or something. Okay, so there's the bird. A funny looking bird, huh? In fact, it's I'm going to do it better than that. I'm just going to do a simple front on, like it's facing us, the bird's facing. That's easier for us to work with the body there. That looks better. And we can have this bird flying around. So I'm just going to, first of all, I'm going to turn off the sky for a moment. I'll just colour this in. Should leave the sky on then so we can see what we're doing. We'll make this bird a red bird. How about that? Red bird. I'll colour the eyes white in a moment. And yeah, it's not perfect. I'm not colouring it super neatly, but just basic. Okay. And then there's the beak. Okay, so there's the body, right? Now I'm going to merge that down with that. Go on another layer, as I say. And I'm going to do frames, okay, frames of the wings. We'll see how we got, okay, here. Up and down. We'll have 3 frames, and I'll name them all, okay? So I'll put 1 here, obviously. Put this a bit down so we can see what we're doing. Okay. Done that wrong. I need to cut. Move it here, bang, Don't worry about the background disappearing. No, that doesn't matter because I've already saved the background as a separate image. You know, let's choose the right colour. Actually, I don't need to colour it just yet because I'm going to do the other wings. So that's what I'm doing. I've got one image which is a background sky, which I've already saved, the sky. I've got the body of the bird, which I'm going to save in a moment separately, all separately, okay. And then I'm also going to have the wings as separate images, okay. Too. Each wing is, both of the wings are in one image, okay. But we're going to have 3 separate images of the set of wings numbered, okay. So let's put some onion skins on, and I'll do some wings like down now, like this, or middle range, and then the next one's going to be down, okay. So we're going to see this bird flapping like that. I think what we really do need also again is, yeah, we're going to repeat that third one when we get round to it, when I do it, okay. Let me just colour that though, as I say, colouring the wings now. Turn off the onion skins as well. I think you don't need to shoot. Oh no, I mean the onion skins for them. And it would help really if I have the bird on top, the body on top, because this is behind that. Okay, just in case we accidentally paint over the body of the bird, you know, which I don't want to do. The next one. And this bird we can basically group everything together in a folder, meaning the body and the wings, the 3 images of the 3 pairs of wings in different positions, and the body all grouped as one folder named bird, and we can move that around the sky and make it look like it's flying towards us, further away, all around, turning around, and then we can have the wings flapping up and down the whole time too. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to, because the size of this is more or less the same. If you were working with different sizes, it would be a bit different. But because of that, okay, I'm just going to do something simple here. Okay, I'm going to cut out this area here, just like keep it in that kind of area. Go to image, trim selection, true selection. We can delete the background. We don't need to have that background layer anymore. And let's just press play for a second. Now, before we do that, I'm going to copy this middle frame just quickly, just to show you what it looks like. Play it here. Oh, excuse me. What the hell did I just do? Copy, paste. Make sure you've got the same ones. Set the end time. Press play, and you can see the bird flapping his wings. Okay. Okay, is there anything wrong with that? Let me just check it out. Hold on. There's something's up with those wings here. I didn't copy and paste the black lines, but it doesn't matter. Let me just get remove and pull. Okay. Yeah, I got to merge those down. That's why I didn't merge them down. My mistake. Let's play that again. 1, 2, 3. So we're still in we're still in Krita, as I say, okay, Krita. In this case, I've just chosen to animate the arms, the wings, sorry. But let's anyway, one way I could simply animate something like this would be to maybe like make a background and make it. I'll save this project just to show you, okay. I'll save this as a project and I'll show you later on if we get a chance, or I'll do it in another video because we don't have time for everything. I'll save this as a project. I'll put just this so I know for random. Save it as a Krita file. And what I could do is basically what I'm saying is I could add like a simple like green background, just like you would in green or blue screen background sort of effects, to, you know, and then I would save this as a video animation, and then bring the video into a video software, and then animate it and use the chroma key or green screen effect to get rid of the green background, and you can just have this animation playing. But let me just show you anyway what we're going to do now. Okay, with this, these images. So let me just turn off this one quickly. I'm going to export this here, save this body as, where's our thing, hold on, in A, so body, okay, body, and then the arms, sorry, the wings, so I'm going to get rid of this, get rid of that frame there, and I'm going to export. I really want to export the animation frames. Can I do that? Geez, let me check it. Export. It seems I'm going to have some trouble. Hang on, file, save as. I don't usually do it from this software. That's why I'm having the issue. But it is still okay. Okay, what I'll do is I'll just save them as separate images. I'll just do it that way. So I'll just save them as up, mid, and down, and I know they're wings. Okay, so save as. Up, or just 1, 2, and 3. Fuck it, excuse my language. 1, 2. I'm very sorry about those people making noises in the background too. Yeah, I'm here. 3. Boom. Now to make sure we know what's what, I'll have to open a new project just quickly, start a new project just so I can check that they are transparent backgrounds. Okay, I'll put something here just quickly. Boom. File. No, I'll just drag them in. What I'll do. Hold on. So we're still in Krita, as I say. Drag that onto there. New layer actually. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so they're saved. Okay. So we've got everything we need. Now I can just close that down. We've got our 3 sets of wings. Ah, no, hang on. Oh, I just messed that up, didn't I? Damn. Oh man, I just messed that up. Okay, don't worry. I'm gonna do it again. I'll bring them into Fire Alpaca just really quickly and just rearrange those wings just really quickly. So bring the third. Bringing the third one in quickly. I've got to return those wings now and re-edit the image. Ah, I'm on the wrong. Oh, yeah. Bear with me 1 second. I'm very sorry about that noise outside. People making so much noise. Sorry about that. Very noisy. Yeah, this bird's going to be flying in the sky in a moment. Don't you worry, guys. Okay, so now I'm going to go deselect, get rid of the back one, save this as. It's very important that I had that image of the bird there, otherwise I might, you know, have not been able to see what I'm doing properly. Saving over that, so now we've got them properly set up this time. Please excuse me there for that little mistake. So now I'm going to go into. I can keep this in the project. Actually, we're in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to. We've got 1, 2, and 3 for the wings. We've got the sky and the body. Now we can go into that software. I was just now I was using Krita, as I say, for the art, okay. But now we're going to use Animate Effects, okay. Let's just open it up, and I'll take you through some of the features. It's pretty simple to use. I might confuse you with this. Watch this video and try and take in the best you can, okay. I'll go over the features in it. Okay, let's just look at this, okay. The first thing you need to do, just follow my steps and you can't go wrong. That's what I will say, okay. I will make another video, if you like, talking about all of the steps again in a better order, maybe. I mean, of like all the features and stuff in this software. But it's very, very simple software. If you just follow my steps right now. Okay, we have no project set currently. All you can see is a blank window here. And this at the bottom is the timeline with the usual interface. You've got the play and pause. You can loop the animation as it plays too. You've got this one that sends you back to the start of the timeline, this one that sends you to the end, and then you can go frame by frame. You can scrub through the frames too, like click through them. It's giving what seems to be 60 frames per second. That's what it's set, and I've tried to change it. I've tried to like change the setting, but there's no way of changing the settings. It seems like you're stuck on 60 frames per second, but it's okay. You can just work things out, and then again you can bring your animation into other softwares and stuff too and deal with that. But anyway, look, okay, let's see it here. Okay, so we've got this. The first thing you need to do is go to the window and go to the resource window. No, that's not the first thing you need to do actually. That's where you need to add resources. Currently we have nothing added to this scene, so it basically means adding things to the scene. Before we do that though, we need to start a new project. So I'm going to go to File, New Project, and then the initial resource, it says here, you see initial resource, and you can also set the canvas size, or you can set the maximum frame as well. I think what I'll do is I'll set it to, our animation is going to literally be like not many frames, is it? Let's be honest. I'll set it to 60 frames per second. Let me think about this just really quickly. 280 maybe? 280, that's like 3 seconds, right? So, and then I don't have to do that, but I'm going to add the initial resource. But I'll show you how I did that. Click on that little icon there, and then the initial resource for me is always the background. It should be the background. That will set your canvas size as well, because the background is the size you want it, right? Unless you're going to have, I mean, you could make the background bigger too, and I'll show you how we can do that. We can even animate the background and have it look like he's moving around as well, that way. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my folder, bring in that background, okay, with its name Sky, go to OK, and there you go. I can zoom in and out by using my mouse scroll wheel. By pressing the middle mouse button and moving around, nothing happens, but you can zoom in and out by rolling it. Right clicking and left clicking will do nothing at this stage. You have these tools on the left. Now, one thing I want to say, if you go down to the bottom left, you can see Sky. Can you see that here? It started, it seems to be, now I'm not 100% sure about everything in this as well, but it's everything, but let's say here you can see Sky. This is like the folder, not folder, this is like the project as far as I'm concerned. This is the initial project resource. The first thing it gives you is just whatever that is. So if you know, when you get it right, bring in your image, whatever name it is, and it will give you that, okay? Now you'll notice that they have these little arrows beside it. When I click that arrow, you can see that underneath this part of whatever the heck this is supposed to be, it's got Sky, and Sky is now an individual image of itself. It's an image. And click on the little eye thing to turn it off and on the visibility. So you've got the Sky. It's not a folder, but it's a Sky thing that contains this image basically, or basically now everything I add will be underneath this basically. I can rename this, I guess, too, so let me rename this. So I'll just call it project. So this is our project, okay, and underneath that, what do I have within this project? I have a Sky image, okay. Now every image you're working with, every image that you include will have all these features on the right hand side of the screen. You see all these images on the right? Now to me this is like, it looks very, very simple. It's a simple collection of things here, okay, ways you can change and move things and scale things, but to some people that might look a bit daunting. But I mean, if you're using other software like Blender and 3D software like that, I mean, that's got so much stuff in it, you know, it can be really confusing. And we're looking at, as I say, we're going to look at some bone top animations. You may have noticed the little bone icon up here. Oh yeah. So basically, you know, I'm just saying, you know, just mucking around. But you know, the thing is, like, they got bones and stuff in Blender too. So people that are familiar with bones, this is just the 2D version, and that's the 3D version of bone animation. So let's rigging in general. Okay, so let's look at this now. So we have one image. We need to include our bird now. Now what we're going to need to do is we're going to go down here underneath our project. Let's select it. We're going to go right click. Okay, no, hang on the project, like when I first imported the initial image, which is the sky, it brings it in under a project. Like it starts this project thing for us, okay, basically. And I just renamed it as project. As you know, it was actually named sky the same way as the image is sky, but the image we're going to keep as sky, okay. So the image is sky inside the project. But what you're going to do is you're going to right click on the project, and then go down, and you can see rename, create layer object, which means basically create another image, but that basically means bring a new image in, or you got create folder object, and a folder is a folder which will contain a certain group of images, okay. So basically, one image is an image of itself, but a group of images will be contained within a folder. So what we're going to do is we're going to have the bird moving around, and the bird is made up of the body and then 3 sets of wings, if you remember the images we drew, okay, and that's 4 images. Those 4 images are going to be basically together in the folder. Okay, but they're all contained together. I'm going to show you how we're going to do that, but they're going to be separate from the sky. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a project, right click on project here on this tab, the top tab it gives you, not the image but the top tab, and then click create folder object, okay. Another thing it was important to understand here is the placement. Currently sky is on top of the folder, and the folder is going to be the bird, so I'm going to rename this folder. I'm going to right click in and click in rename, and I'm going to call it bird, okay. So I've called that folder bird, and I'm going to move the folder above this. I'm going to left click and drag it above sky but it's still within this project, within this tab thing, this top tab, okay. Now the position of these, even though you may have one on top, which I've got like bird here, you're going to have to remember something, okay. There's a layering, like a depth. If you go to the right hand side, look to the right of the screen here on the right, can you see this thing here under the bird current keys? If you go down, everything can be keyframe animated. This is depth, okay, depth. Okay, when you click on that, you'll be able to basically push things forward or back by interval numbers. So you may have to click it like 1 or 2 steps, like the numbers. So for example, like my bird animation, my bird image may be above the sky, in front of the sky here that we're looking at, but you may still not be able to see it, and you don't know why you can't see it. The reason you can't see it is because maybe because of the depth over here. So you need to up the number. The higher the number, the more in front it is, like in front. Okay, so you may need to, for example, push something back one image behind another image, like a tree behind a person or something, someone standing there. So you want to put the image further back, you know, by lowering the number of the depth, okay. We'll look at that again a bit later on. But now we have the sky image in. How are we going to get the bird images into our bird folder? Don't drag your sky image into the bird folder. Okay, only group things. Like if we have a human body, then we're going to have the arms, the legs and everything in one folder, right? I think you can have folders within folders too, so you can like animate a group of things, like, you know, a group of hairs on someone's head that is also grouped to the body, you know. But let's just do this, okay. We're going to go up to window and go to the resource window, okay. You must do this to bring in new resources. Every image that you bring in is a resource. Now I want to remind you, you cannot bring a full image sequence, it seems. You have to, unless you do it one by one. You can't bring video images, video clips in either. pretty sure, I'm not 100% sure, okay, I'm not 100% sure. If I'm wrong, then that's great. I may even try it in a moment, okay, because that'll be good, because if we can bring a whole image sequence, if we can bring a video in, then that'll be great, because I think you can actually, yeah, you can actually do, I'm not 100% actually sure, I've got to say maybe like green screen and stuff, I'm not too sure, but there's things you can do, you know. But I don't think you can bring videos in. I've tried before, as I say. You can do, you know, you can do animation. You can bring images in, and you can. I mean, you may not always want to do the boning part, the bones, what the hell, bone animations and rigging. You may just want to move the pieces around and animate like that. You know, I'm just saying like the images. Okay, you can bring in pictures and images. Bring them into this. You can't bring sound in. You can't bring sound. But one thing you can do, let me just show you quickly. You go to File and go here. If I was to go to Export As, see, not Save Project, that's just your project you're working on. So if you didn't finish your project, like in any software, you might want to come back and finish working on your animation after you come home from work, let's say. And then when you're ready to actually save the animation out as a movie or like a clip, you know, you can go to Export As, and you can see they have a lot here: JPEG sequence, a PNG sequence, GIF animation, MP4 video, and all these different other video formats here below. So you know, that's good. You can. What I would do is I would bring the video clip, then like MP4 for example, I'll bring that into another, you know, software. It could be a PNG sequence even. But you know what I mean, you bring it into like a video software, bring in the MP4 clip into a video software, and then and put it together into your movie, you know, and then add sound and music and stuff. I make a lot of music myself, and that sounds and stuff as well in FL Studio. I've just downloaded the new one, it's very good. But I'm going to say, if you want to do it, I don't know how to export videos with transparent backgrounds to just have like the moving characters, but one thing you can do is you could add like a green background, like for a start. When you first start this, maybe you don't want to have like a blue sky, like I've got here a sky. You just want to have a transparent background. What you could do is you could have your characters and then have a very different color background, like green, let's say, bright green, and have it separate to everything, like, you know, but placed further back behind everything. So make sure it's a background by adjusting the depth if you need to over here, don't forget, as well as the order over here, but the depth especially. And then the depth is the thing really. And then what you need to do is save the animation out, and then or record the screen. That's another way I do it, record that area of the screen. Either way, get the footage out, then bring your video in of it into a software, a video software that has a green screen background capabilities, chroma key and that, and just get rid of that, and then you've got your animated whatever it is what you've done in this. You'll have that clip available to be used in your videos, okay, in video clips and animation. So what about movies? What you're doing, you know? Now, yeah, I want to say, it's got some pretty fun, nifty little effects, nifty little tools and stuff in this, I'll say. Like the mesh, different things you can do in this, like deforming and stuff. But I want to say, another thing to keep in mind is like clipping. I'm calling it clipping. I mean, like, if you have an animated thing that you want to bring into, like, let's say for example, if I had a green background here, and if I had my bird flying around, then my bird may fly off the screen, let's say, and then back onto screen. Now if I just want to take a green screen background video and bring that into a video software, and then get rid of the big green screen and add a sky in a different background, you know, and then have the bird flying around, you have to be careful, because if you end up resizing or moving that video clip around, you may realize that your subject, in this case the bird or the character, may move off screen within the screen. Like, it may disappear, like half of his body may disappear or something like that. So you need to make sure that the frame, you keep it all in frame, so it's like the same size as the screen, you know. That's quite a lot to take in now. If you're actually following what I'm saying and visualizing that, you'll get what I'm saying. But I've covered a lot so far, so let's just look at that again, okay? You know, okay. I think because I need to hurry up and move on, basically. So I've got the folder here for bird. I'm going to go to add my resource, which is the bird, okay? I'm going to go to window, then go to resource window, click it, and then you can see what we have. We have our project thing, resource with its image, basically. Resource with image. I need to add a new resource as such, so I go to file, add resource, so easy, only one option, and then I'm gonna I want to highlight all of these. I don't know if I can, all these four. No, I can't. I have to do them one by one, but they're already named. Body, we're going to do them one by one, okay? So wings 1, 2 and 3, okay? And then you have to do that one by one, so you can't bring them all in as a group, or you can't bring in like an image sequence, sadly, either. But that's that, okay? Now they're resources imported for use in our project, okay? And yeah, okay. Now there's only one under sky so far. Okay, that's okay. So let me just quickly turn it off for a moment and go to my bird folder. There's currently nothing in it. I'm going to right click that and go create layer object, okay? So basically you have a resource which is an image of itself or a folder, and then that's what you have. You have create these folder objects or layer objects, meaning the images in general, like images. So I'm going to create a layer object, and I'm going to make this one the body. Click OK, and now you can see there it is at the top. Before I add the wings, I'm going to show you something else, okay? I will add one set of wings first. I'm going to go to add layer object. I'm going to add wings 1, okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you something, okay? These actually, let's go undo quickly. You see that when I import them, they are not named. Do you see here? Look on the left is a top node. That's wrong. Right click that and rename it body, because it's not going to do that for us. Body, okay? So I have to keep doing. Then drag the body into the bird folder, which I just did. Now I can open that, and it's within the bird folder. I dragged it in, okay? Right click the bird folder again. Click new object. Add a new object. Go to 1. Layer object. 1 for the wings, okay, and I'm going to rename that one top node here. I'm going to rename it as hold on. Rename it as 1. Drag that in, okay. Also drag it in. Make sure it's in the folder. And as I say, the body is on top of that, but okay, let's have a look. Yeah, okay. So now we can see the problem, okay. This folder with the bird, okay, the folder, you can animate that as well. So we're going to move this bird now into the center of the screen, right? So let's move the bird. Look over here on the left. Let's look at these items, what we have. The first one is show polygon wireframe, which we don't. If I click on an object, you'll see what it does. Polygon. It shows you all the polygons that make up this image. It's crazy. Turn that off. We don't need to deal with that now. Cut images frame by the frame, okay, by the frame. I'll show you that in a moment, okay. I'll show you in a moment. But here we have rotate. You can rotate the camera this way or that way, and you have this point one to set it back to the center here too. So these are for rotating these 3. Down below here we have the camera cursor, and basically that's when I click on the arrow there, it turns. When I move over here now, you can see my cursor has turned to a hand. If I left click and move, that just moves the whole camera around, panning basically. And zoom in and out using the mouse scroll wheel, as I say. Now by clicking on this scale, rotate and translate object, because we have the sky currently selected, I don't want to do that. So let's go down and click on the bird folder. Okay, now you can see the bird is highlighted with this box. If I click anywhere around the outside of this spot here, now if I click that spot basically and move him to the center, I'm moving him, left click and hold and move the mouse, we can't see where the hell he is now, right? But the reason for that is if you look down here on the left, you can see the folder is above the sky, so the bird is above the sky. But we need to go to the depth over here, like I said. So let's go over here to the right hand side of the screen and click on making sure that this is selected first, the bird folder, or the images we want to work with. In this case it's a bird folder, the collection of images. And we need to go to depth, click the plus sign, and it will open up like this. And now just over here where it says position, up the number. I'm going to click it by 4 times, and then after you've done that, click away anywhere, and you'll see now we can see our bird. So as long as it's above that, now I can left click and move it around anywhere. If I click the corner, if I click anywhere in the center basically, including that little spot or anywhere around that spot, I can move it. Okay, the right hand side you can see a little toggle there. If I left click and hold that, I can rotate the bird too. Okay, just going to keep them straight for now. If I click any of these sides, you'll see they change and highlight as I hover over them. I can stretch the size, okay, up or down like that. I can go to the out. If I click the corners, I can size it like that. That might mean it's further away from us or closer to us or whatever, bigger or smaller. Okay. If you go across the lines, it will just overlap like that and change. Same as this, really, same thing. But you know, okay. So we're going to go here. And okay, so basically I can animate a character over time like that, doing any of these movements. Now if we look down here on the timeline, you can see on the timeline, okay, look below here, it's you can see the words faintly there: move, rotate, scale, depth. I think there's other ones that apply too sometimes. Now what I'm actually doing is I'm moving the 2 images, aren't I? I'm actually moving around and translating and sizing them, rotating them. We've got the wings as one image and the body as one image, okay? And you can change the depth, okay, the order of what's in front of what too, with the depth of individual images too, by simply going to the folder down below here, opening it, and then clicking one of these, and you'll see that updates over here on the right hand side all the objects you need. So I'm covering all the basics you really need in this video, okay? Now close that back down. We're going to work with the whole folder. Yeah, so you can see that on the timeline just below here. So we've got these this information, and we also have these points. These are keyframes. Okay, keyframes can be left click to be selected, and then clicked away to unclick them. You can basically right click on one and copy a keyframe, or delete a keyframe, or move, left click this top one here, this thing, and drag this along. Okay, this point on the timeline, this dial, and when you get to a certain point you can then move and translate your character. So I've already moved somewhere on the timeline. Let's say I've gone like, that should be like 1 second in, right? Let's say 2 seconds in. I don't know what that is, what, 120 frames if we're talking 60 frames per second. That's just the only setting it gives you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the bird over here, and you can see I left clicked and moved, and you can see that it's added a point there for me already. So if I move this back now, you see it's actually scrub along, it's moving to that point. Let's say halfway along here I want the bird to go smaller. I'm going to just rotate it like that, or go smaller, or whatever. You can see it's adding those points below, just as I've said. The depth I can also animate on the right here but you have to click in the numbers, as I say, which I'm not going to do now. So I'm going here and I'm doing that. Then let's say I want to go along here, or maybe just really quickly I want him to like come back to us, like really like that, really fast, you know. Now let's say I don't want that. I can choose to move one of these around, or I can choose to hold left click and select a bunch of these. To highlight, left click, hold and let go. Then I can right click, copy key, move along here, or sorry, no, just drag them together, the whole bunch of them. Okay, you know. And I can copy or delete or anything like that. So let's say, for example, I want him to just rotate a little bit here, then move along, then rotate again here, and then I want him to rotate again. What I can simply do is highlight these two, right click, copy, and then go like roughly where I want to go, right click, paste key. Now it's going to do the same motion again, and I can keep on doing that, copying and pasting, and it's going to continue doing those moves, you know. If I want him to like scale up or something about this point, I could maybe do that. See, so he still keeps the same movement, but he's like changing size or whatever, see, and moving. So see, all this crazy stuff, see. So we've got this bird flying around. If I quickly press the loop one over here on the bottom right, you can see this loop icon, and then I press play. It will just continue to play this movement we've got. Now the next thing we need to do is we need to add the movement of the wings by adding those other wing animations in, right? So let me just press stop quickly, or press the pause button, it just stops it. I can bring this back to the left, right here, to the start if I wanted to. I could also right click and can I, hold on, I'm just seeing, no I can't, I don't think I can duplicate the folder. I thought it would be cool if I could like duplicate the folder. That would be cool. I don't think I can do that, duplicate. If I could duplicate the whole folder, it would be really cool, wouldn't it? I can't do that. If you see any artifacts like this, by the way, if like you see a strange line across it, that just happens when you click on different things. So just click somewhere else and you'll notice how things change. Now we've got this highlighted, I can click elsewhere, or I can go over here to my arrow, the top left. Can you see this arrow, the move camera? Click on that and it will just take everything away, and you can just press play and watch it back. You can export your video like this, or you can use a screen recording software and select just this area. There's no way of viewing this in full screen, it seems, sadly, but what you can do is you can drag the drag this out as a, this one can't go really any further, but drag them out the best you can and being careful, and then just like zoom in or whatever more, and then you can like record the screen if you wanted to. Use like a screen recording software like Bandicam or ShareX or any of those fancy ones that are out there you can use. There are some good free ones, and you can basically just get your clip that way. Make a video, add sound effects and music, and put it as part of your cartoon that you're making. So you may do different things, like different projects. I might do certain things where I want to use something like this for some effects for a video. I might want to use a clip that I do in this and then put it into my animation when other clips may be done all frame animated, like in Fire Alpaca or Krita, or you might want to use, as I say, Manga Studio, Anime Studio. There's loads of stuff out there. Pencil 2D, Toon Boom, Open Toons, the list goes on. I'm sorry about those people laughing. Sorry about that, but there's a lot of things. You can even do 2D animation in Blender as well. I'm just checking what I got here, because I just forgot I was going to say something to you. Manga Studio, yeah, various softwares I use. Krita, as I say, the main one. But let's just go back. Okay, so now we're going to add in the the wings. Okay, so let's click on this bird image, the bird folder over here on the left. Open it up, and you can see within here we just have the body and then the number 1 wings as the resources. So what do we do next? We did already go to window, and we already imported our resources, didn't we? I'll just show you quickly. We have all of the wings here, 1, 2 and 3, plus the sky and the body. You see they're all under here. Okay, there's got a sky image within this. Okay, now don't get confused. Okay, this is not talking about folders. Okay, this is just talking about all of your resources that you've got here. So what we're going to do is click that off. There's other things you can tweak and look at in there, as I say. But what I'm going to do is a very strange thing. Very strange, I want to say. Like you see how over here on the right hand side it says top node, which we changed the name of that, didn't we? If you go down though, it says 1 current keys, and that 1 is basically referring to this one, the wings. If I go body, it's going to refer to the body one there, but it's still under image, it's still referring to it as top node, and it refers to every image as top node. Even probably the sky will be as well, Oh no, that's called sky. Okay, interesting. But don't worry. So let's just do what we're doing. Let's just click on the wings. We need to click on that one, okay? For the wings. So let's look at this again. I'm opening my bird folder on the left here, clicking the thing, and below that you can see body, and then the number 1 wings. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move this along, move the timeline along to about. Let's just do it quite slow. We won't have them move too fast. I'll move it 10 frames in. So every 10 frames it's going to change. It's to another image. So the wings are at number 1 currently. Now go over here to the right hand side with that selected, that image, okay, that resource. Go to image, okay, on the bottom, the bottom right there. See image, the bottom one. After you've moved along the timeline here, bottom right, click on image, and now I'm going to click 2 and then click OK. Now I'm going to move the timeline again, move the dial on the timeline 10 more frames, okay, 10 more frames. Click, then go to image, go over here, click on 3 and click OK. Now I'm going to go over here 10 more frames along on the timeline, click on image, then click on 2 again because we need to get that middle frame back because it has to go 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2. It has to go back to that middle one, you know. We've only got 3 images we're dealing with, but you've got to keep that in mind, how many frames you're using, especially if you're talking about a looping animation. Like we're having him looping his wings up and down constantly, right, the whole time, unless we want to stop it. If we wanted to, we could do that. We could make the bird land in a tree and then stop at the last one with his wings like down by his sides and then just have him stay there, you know. You could do that as well, but you can choose what frames are visible one by one. Sadly, we can't bring a preset image sequence into this like what we make in as I say in Krita, for example, in Krita. So I'm going to go 2. Okay, now if I go back, you'll see that it's got that. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 2, and it's going to go back to 1 in a moment. Here it should actually be 1. I don't know why it's not actually showing that. So what I will do, I think it's the initial one, but I mean it's not showing like a keyframe as such. So to be sure of that, I'm going to go to image and I'm going to just add 1 to make sure that is there as 1. So we've got 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight, left click, drag, and highlight all of these, then right click and go to copy key and left click. Now I'm going to go 10 frames along and just literally press right click and then left click, paste key. And you may want to drag them a bit more into view, so highlight them and left click and drag them a bit more along if they're not actually right. Now I'm going to highlight these and copy these the same way, okay. Sometimes it will say this, fail to paste keys, and the reason is because it's something to do with like I'm obviously a little tiny bit off there with my timing. It's hard to see. You can zoom in, but we've set it for a certain length of time on the timeline. But I want to mention also, once you've clicked on the timeline, I just pressed the middle mouse button, just clicked it once to get off what I was just doing. If I scroll now with my mouse wheel, I can actually zoom in and out to get better time view on the timeline there. Can you see that? Okay, so that's not perfect obviously what I've got there, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select the last, we have to go from this side, we'll select these ones, copy, and then go here, because it's like not so much, this is not exactly half, it's a little bit shorter. Okay, now I'm going to drag these along, and that's more or less okay, right? Let's just have a look what it looks like. The dragging, boom, 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 okay. And I think here we've got room to add another number 2 again, so let's just put it somewhere in here. It doesn't matter if it's a little bit faster. Add a 3, sorry. No, actually it should be a number 2, shouldn't it? So we'll just leave that, okay, yeah. Let's just press play. We'll need to loop it in a moment. Press play once. The wings are moving very slowly. Oh, it's looping. Yeah, I left it on loop. Good. I want it to loop. If it doesn't loop, if you're not setting it to loop, you must do that. Set it to loop. Okay. Now we could bring this as a video clip into another software, and you know, and then speed it up or slow it down if I wanted to do it that way. Another way of doing it though is you could just simply, as I say, pull them just closer together. It's a bit of fuss, but pull all the frames closer together, you know, like that. I'm just doing it now. With a bit of practice, it's really not hard to use this software. I'll say that, and I think I'll definitely be using it more where necessary. But the thing is, like, I don't always find the need to be using this because I do a lot of frame animation more than rigged animation. But the thing is, I may want to use scenes where there's things moving in a certain way, you know, or like have things in the background and stuff, you know. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just add these in. To work that out, 1 2 3 1 2 3, no, sorry, 1 2 3 2 1 2 3 2. I'll add those in, okay. Boom, straight there, no fuss, bang. We can do it much faster now, so the wings are a little bit faster, and you can make them much faster, as I say, in another software. You can also, as I say, animate things a certain way. I think what I want to do at this point in time is I want to show the bones. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to zoom in and we're going to actually add bones to the legs of this bird. Okay, so let's just do that. I'm going to add a bone in. So if you go over here to the right hand side, you've got a selection of tools for bones. Okay, you've got the move tool for the object, obviously the camera, then the move tool for the object, sorry. Don't bother with these just for now, these are transformers and stuff. You've got bone creating, what the hell is this, hold on, centroid, I guess that's for moving the actual center point part. So that's pretty useful actually, you could move that to another part. So you could basically move something within a group folder and not even need to bother with bones. I might show you that in another video, okay? Similar to I've shown you in Blender on my other website, on my other channel on YouTube, OTR with Sue Richard. Let's just get back to what I'm saying, okay? You can do that in Blender too. Yeah, but here, okay, so 3D. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to here. You've got these tools here, these next four. The bone one, obviously. When you click on that bone one, you'll see below it there's an option. There's a load of options. You've got the plus sign for adding bones. And I'll show you how that works now. I'll just zoom in to the leg, click on a point, and I'll click go all the way down, and then click again. That forms a bone. From here now, moving down to the foot, I'll click again. What I've basically done is I've just added bones to one leg. I've just added two. I can continue doing that, clicking anywhere I want. But I can also get rid of them by clicking the minus sign here, and then clicking on those particular bones I don't want to keep. This one here, the next one is moving the joints with the arrow. So if I click on the joints, I can resize the joints accordingly. If I feel one's not long enough or not big enough, or it's too short, or I can change those. Okay. The next one here is the bind objects. It joins everything together, but I'm still not 100% sure how that works. I don't know what they're talking about objects. I'm guessing they mean like binding the one object to the other object. You know, that's what I'm thinking. You know. Another thing I want to say, because I think these legs are they're one image. Okay, this bird's body is actually just one image, really, right? So I'm going to move the camera just quickly by clicking that arrow up there. Go back to our bones objects here. I want to actually move the joints again, and I'm just going to have the whole body like move around. So I'm going to drag these into place. I'm going to make the bottom part of this bird move, basically. The legs will be waving. Let's make just the bottom legs move like they're hanging below here. That's what we'll do, swinging. Okay, so I've just posed those bones in the right place that I want to have them. Next thing we want to do is we want to adjust the influence, or paint influence, or erase influence. What that means is by painting, erasing, or let's say that in order, adjusting, painting or erasing. That means giving power to these bones basically. Now this bird is coloured red, so it's going to be a bit hard to see, but I'll just show you quickly, okay? By clicking adjust influence, you'll start to see it'll have a thing there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on paint influence and just click on that bone and then left click and hold. Do you see it's actually created an area around the bones? Okay, let me just move the bone just really quickly so you see what I'm saying. You see, if I move the bones here, you can see they have these red areas, okay, around them, and you can adjust them by using the adjust tool here. You can hover over the options and you'll see like information saying what it is. When you click on a certain area of the bone and left click, you have to left click and hold your mouse, moving it in different directions. You'll realise it takes a bit of getting used to, but you can adjust the area of what it's going to influence. That means how much of whatever's covered by that red area is going to be what's going to be controlled by the bone. It's like the power of the bone basically. Get that. So now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move the bone back by using this move joints thing. I'm going to go back to where we had them, and I'm going to make sure that everything within these right sizes of these two bones are covering those areas. So this one we're going to change the influence, and you can erase the influence too, by the way, by just clicking and erasing or adding, as I say. And they've got power, radius and pressure things there too, don't forget, which is then you can change the these as well, okay, of how you do that. But let me just drag this out. I'm speaking a little fast, it's a very long video as I say, but let me just do this quickly. We don't have to be exact, this is a very simple animated thing, so I'm just trying to get that to cover all that area. On the next one here, I'm going to do this now. We're adding bones, don't forget, just to the oh, my mistake, I've made a mistake, excuse me, I need to get rid of these bones, damn it. Please excuse me, I need to add bones to the body. I forgot what I was doing, please excuse me, okay, I need to click on the body, so we need to do that again, okay, so let me click the body, okay. Let's do that again very quickly. So just add, click the plus sign, make sure you've got the bone icon selected. So 1, 2, and then click down. Doing this again, same thing. I can just straight away adjust the influence by clicking on the influence and just resizing these. As I say, click on the different ends of the bones, the two ends, and then drag. Basically, that's what you do, and then to get the size you need. So we're dealing with this image, which is the bird's body image, okay? See that overlapping a little bit there, but as long as it's got the whole thing contained within that area. Now, let's do the next one. So if you look here, beside the bone on the left here, bone icon, you've got another one which is a bone posing icon. You've also got a mesh creating and mesh freeform deform. If I show you what that does, the freeform deform, you can basically drag, left click and just drag parts of the image and animate that over time as well. You can also click the erase option, which it's got there to erase what you've just done. Change the radius of that and the pressure, and a lot of different things there you can do, okay? But I'm just going to go erase, full pressure. Okay, I'm going to send it back to how it was. This mesh thing is similar to the mesh thing we have up the top here, this wireframe thing you see, at the top left here, and then you've also got this mesh creating tool, which is like, it puts like it allows you to create a thing there which you can then work with. But I don't want to work with that, okay, I don't want to have that. I think we can hold down control and press Z a few times, see, to get rid of what we've just got there. Turn off that wireframe by clicking the cube at the top left there. Let's click on our last one now. The last one is the spanner wrench thing tool, and this one will allow us to pose the bones. So meaning if I move this one and toggle it, I can move the parts. If I move this, I can. The first one's like the main one. You don't really want to do this. See, yeah. What I was going to say is sometimes you want to add bones not to the single image, but rather to the folder. In this case, I'm not moving the body, so I didn't worry about it. I know I'm just moving the legs. But if you see what I'm saying, okay, if I just erase these bones again, just really quickly by clicking the bone one and then going to erase, Okay, where was it? The minus, sorry, minus those 2 bones. If I go to the bird folder, let me collapse the folder down, close it down so it's easier to see on the bottom left there. Clicking on the bird folder, I can add bones to a folder, meaning that I can move everything within this. I was just being careful a moment ago because I didn't want to accidentally add bones to the wings, because we've already got certain movement with the wings as using frame animation. But yeah, you know, but carefully we can still do it with this one. I'm just moving as the way I showed you. So I'm going to add bones, okay, same way again, add the influence too. 1, 2, bang. Okay, now I'm going to go to the influence, just go really quickly. The more you practice this stuff, the better you'll really get, as faster as lightning. Okay, I'm going to go over here. Let's just see what we got. So just making sure the whole thing's contained. Okay, that's done. Now left clicking on the wrench icon over here, the spanner I call it. You can move. Hang on, can I? Oops. I don't know why that's not working, but I have done this before. I'm a little bit confused as to why that's not happening. Why it's not actually working. Hold on. Maybe it's because of that. That's very, very strange. I don't know why. Oh, I think it's because I've got a bind. I guess that's what that bind thing's for. Let me see again. So if I click on this one, bind objects. Okay, I've just clicked bind objects, and I think that locks it into place. Now let me try with the wrench icon. No, even that doesn't work. It's very strange. Okay, let me click on the body or the. That's very strange. It's kind of grouped things. I don't know what's happened there. That's very, very strange, because earlier on I did actually do this and it did actually work. I did actually animate a group of bones, you know. Okay, let me see then. Let me see what we're doing here. There's something to do with my grouping. Oh, I know that. Very, very sorry. Let me just get rid of these just quickly, if it will allow me. Not unbind or what? Can you unbind this stuff? Okay. Minus, yeah. Minus. Okay, let's try that again. Please excuse me, guys. I don't know why that's not working. But yeah, you've seen how we can add bones to the legs, though, right? So you can move those over time and animate those over time. I was going to say, you know, and you can have multiple animations, like you know, bone animation, frame animation, and the movement, like the transforming, how he's moving, the whole thing's flying all over the screen, right? You know, and changing size and all that stuff as well. You can have all this stuff going on, and you can have multiple things. So I can have one bird and one helicopter. You know what I mean? But let's just try that again with these. I want to add bones to a multiple grouped item, basically like this here. So let's add a bone. 1, 2, 3. Very strange. Add influence, right? Add influence. Okay, add influence. Adjust the influence. I'm doing it kind of roughly now because I'm trying to like work out what the deal is with this, but you know. Yeah, it's really, really strange, you know. It's like not letting me pose it. Hang on. Okay, hold on. So we've got all these here. It's kind of strange. Oh, that's what I got to do. Move that, obviously. Move these into place. So I really don't know what to say with that. It's really, really strange, because I should be able to just pose everything, you know, let it move together, like let everything follow it. I don't know why it's not doing that. It was doing that, you know. Maybe like a bind objects, or bind, or let me see now. Okay, they're bound. That doesn't work. So we'll have to look at that again at some stage. But let me just do this. The main thing is I can still at least move everything a certain way, you know. I mean, you won't always move everything anyway, so that they disconnect, like the arms disconnect from the body, or you won't always have that anyway, will you? You know. We can still have them grouped as one group folder, like we've got this thing moving around, and then animate the separate parts. You can still do that, you know. I often have done that a lot actually in my previous in Anime Studio as well, you know. But let's just go to the body then and just do it the simple way. I've taken long enough on this already. 1, 2, and 3. So 3. I said, what's going on, man? What the hell's going on today? I really don't. What the hell is all this? Hold on, guys. I'll be with you in a moment. Delete that. Okay, let's go. Add a bone. 1, 2, 3. Add the influence. Boom, boom. Adjust the influence. Simple as. I'm just making it look hard today. Excuse me, guys. Okay. Now, by clicking the wrench tool, yeah, I can move it, you know. Sorry. The radius. I can, come on, man. What's going on with this? Bone posing tool. Well, I feel something's like something's gone wrong or something. I feel like something's crashed or something. Excuse me. I had it selected to erase bones. That's why I had it selected to erase bones. Oh my god. So now we need to fix that. Let's try that again. That was wrong. I had the feature. So we learn every time, right? So let's go back again. Okay, I need to add bones to the folder. Okay, the folder. Okay. Yes, the folder. Add bones to the folder. I'm pretty sure this is going to work now, guys. Okay, add plus icon. Okay, 1, 2. I need to erase this one. Add plus icon here. One, click on that. Click here. So let's get rid of both of those. And boom. 1, 2, 3. Click here. Bam, bam. Add in the influence by clicking there. Then go into the adjust the influence. Okay, thing here. Then this one. Making sure it's all like encompassed. I'm left clicking and holding, by the way. We're not going to need some real precise movement. Now, clicking the wrench. Don't ignore these things below here. Okay, go to the left one which says move bones. Am I still wrong? You were pull bones. Is that right? And I'm still wrong. Oh, because the weight's at 0. Hang on. Okay, we're still messing up, guys. Please, you're gonna have to bear with me now. Okay, I'm wrong. I'm still wrong. We're learning. We're not really learning. Look at we all learning. Jesus Christ. I'm blown away by that, I really am. But let's click on the body then. I'm still wrong. Okay, I'm still wrong. Please excuse me. I'm going to go to ads. I'm going to do the body instead, okay? Oh my god. We're taking all day today. Jesus. Can't believe it. Like Richard, at least, you know, I've got to know what I'm doing before I make videos, right? Okay, so that's this. Okay, get it into position. Okay, get that right, Rich. Okay, now I'm going to go to spanner icon. Okay, now it works. He thinks it's funny anyway, so go in there, okay? So let's just do that. So we're going to have it so that as he flies over here, his legs are now moving over there. Okay. And then as he goes back here, his legs come back over there, maybe. See one. And then over here. Okay, here. Test it as you go, see one, and then go here, and then I'll give it a little shake. Here, hang on. Yeah, as he moves. and then just drag them into place, moving them by using that wrench icon, as I said. Let's press play now. You can see the legs are moving too. You don't want to see those ugly bones on top. You're kind of sick of bones now, right? I'm going to click away, and then you'll see this, and then go to the arrow here, top left. Do that. I'm going to export it as an MP4 if it will allow me to do that. I could export it as an image sequence, but it'll be a damn lot of images, so I'm not going to bother with that. I'm just going to export it as an MP4. Save it just as AAA, whatever, in the same folder. Got these features and stuff here you can set. Oh, you can set the end frame as well. Pretty good, because you may not want to have the frame. Oh, I can set it for different, like it says 60 frames per second. I could set it for something different even if I wanted to. But I'll just set it for this. It's taking quite a short time, obviously, because it's still a small animation, very short animation, isn't it? Short video. But yeah, we went over a few things. I'm a bit disappointed how I wasn't able to show you there how to add like a group, like bones to a group, because before I made this video I did do that. I added bones to a folder, you know. So it's very, very strange why I'm not able to do that. I mean, I actually did do it. I put some objects within a folder, you know, and I added it to that. So it's very strange. Unless it's the project itself, but no, it can't be, because the sky's within the same project. So we don't want to animate the sky, we just want to animate each piece of the bird itself. Like add bones that cover multiple images and move them. Like you can add bones to a character and it's going to put the character in different poses. But you want to have like the character's clothes on the character, and you may want to like move the clothes with the character, you know what I mean? Similar sort of problem that you get in Blender. In 3D, a lot of people have trouble with that. Now the thing's taking ages to like finally export this last part. It's on 99% here, I don't know what's going on. Just waiting for it. It's probably just finishing up, probably just slow. I don't usually use it, as I say, this software a lot. I don't always export from it either. And if I did, I would usually just record the screen using the software. But it's done now. Okay, let me just turn this off. Discard changes. See how big the file is. It's pretty large screen size, I think. Okay, let's just check it out. Let's see if it plays okay. Sorry, just my screen, my VLC media player thing there. It's just the way it is. Hold on, sorry guys. It's just because I'm recording the screen, and that's why we're getting all these artifacts and stuff. But yeah, it wouldn't be too long anyway. I mean, it was a looped animation. That's why we could see it like for so long. But I can open up Olive. I've got a video editing software called Olive here. I can bring it into that. It's good. It's free. It sometimes has glitches with like the sound issues and stuff or certain things, but Olive is a very good free video editing software. I'm just going to bring it into this just very quickly. Let's just have a look. So pressing play in here. The reason it's pretty slow like that and choppy is because I've got so many things running and stuff. I'm just going to copy it a couple of times, okay, and save that out as a video just really quickly. Save it onto the desktop just really quickly, and it's gonna just save really quickly. Sorry about it looks a bit like slow there, but I'll just talk to you for a couple of seconds. What it basically is it's some videos, sometimes in some softwares, if you've got multiple things running, certain things can work slowly, as you know. But yeah, you know, but also it's like it can like it just cut off. Actually, the thing's just cut off, so I don't know what the hell to say about that. Really, really sorry about this, guys. I'm going to use any video converter now, and I'm going to convert it. Unless the computer explodes. Just kidding. I'm going to bring this in. Bam. Drag it into that. Did I? Now it won't let me drag it in for some strange reason. Okay, damn. Strange. Oh, because of that. Okay. Drag it into here. Bang. Boom. Export that. Sorry about the people talking in the background too. This should be done any minute now because it's such a small file to deal with, unless this thing's going to crash. I'm going to bring it into Windows Movie Maker as a MPEG-1 movie, and that should play much easier. Okay, let's say to deal with. Okay, so let's just go there, boom boom, drag that straight into there, you know, okay, straight here. I'm going to copy it. I can change the speed as well in here and stuff, you know. Just copying it a few times, saving it out. Okay, this is saving it on the desktop just really quickly. It'll save probably really fast. Yeah, saving fairly fast. Sometimes, as I say, that's what I'm saying. So Olive's a good video editing, like free little software, but sometimes it like crashes and stuff. You know, but yeah, as I say, you can like bring, you can even animate the movement of certain things in that software. For example, earlier on, I made another video on my computer, and I animated 2 clips together using Olive, as I say. This one. Wild Daddy. This one here. You can see how I've got one image here floating across the screen, and I animated that in the similar way, but I didn't use Anime Effects. I just used Olive to do that. A lot of video editing softwares can actually do that, like a picture-in-picture, like images on top of the other, or video on top of video, and you can like move things around and stuff. And the good thing is you can, as I say, do green screen in Olive as well. Green screen, blue screen, things like that. Obviously I've got like things like Vegas Pro. Hit Film's very good also. You can do masking and stuff, cutting certain areas off and things like that, and having things move around in different ways. You know, this thing's nearly ready. I'm just babbling on while I'm waiting for this to save. You know, really happy. I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's a long video, I know, but we covered quite a lot of the basics of the software. I'm just really upset that I couldn't get those like I wasn't able to add bone rigs to a folder, you know, containing multiple images, which kind of pissed me off. Move this back up here. So let's check that out. Yeah, and there we are. Okay, there's the one, man. There's the bird animation. I'll upload this too as a video. How long is that, man? 32 seconds. Wow. See a bird floating around for 32 seconds, man. That's the life, man. Okay, I want to say thank you for watching this video. We'll give it one last go at adding some multiple. I'll just get rid of this as well, by the way, the images we had there. But I'm going to do one last go at putting 2 objects together, just 2 random objects. I'll start a new project, initial resource. I'll just have any kind of image, some crap from my computer. Okay, that's just something on my computer there, don't worry. Yeah, add 2 resources, right? 2 images, 2 separate images. So, bam, I'm just going to go in, literally just add 2 random rough images from my computer. Okay, one here, and then another one, and resources like this one. Okay, and then that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go here. I'm going to go right click, create folder object. Oh, it's going to be within this, okay, the folder. I think I can even get rid of this one, right? Yeah, I can. So let's just have the folder object, if I'm not mistaken. Was I wrong to do that? Maybe I was wrong to do that because we need to have like a screen. Hang on, let me just see again. Get rid of that. Oh no, that's okay. I can get rid of that image. Let's just bring the 2 resources I just brought in to this and connect them with bones. So I'm going to go right click, add layer object, this one. Okay. Resize it by doing that. Okay. This is just a photo I took nearby, not somewhere nearby. I'm going to zoom out. Oh, if you want to see what clipping is, I go up here, top left, okay, cut images by the frame. If I click on that, it will cut them by that. So no matter how this thing moves around, it will still be contained within that, you see. I usually switch that on actually, it's quite good, because you want to see exactly what it's going to look like for a clip, you know. I'm going to zoom in, if it allows me to... This is kind of strange because this is like a really big image. I think it'd be better to delete that resource. Let me add another one in, another resource I think. Excuse me guys. I'll add this in because I've used it before. So in the folder, layer object, have this, bang, what's this one? Oh, it's the same damn one. My mistake. Okay, layer object, this one, bang, okay, this one, this is to download something I found online for reference for walking. Layer object, this one, okay, got 2 images now we can work with, okay, so we've got to put those in the folder in a moment, so let's rename them first. Okay, rename, this one's RRR and the other one's top node, just random names. I'll give it a different name, okay, rename. Load of R's and 2 E's, 2 different names, E's and R's, okay. So this one's this, and I'll just make it like a shape, one shape, and this one is this shape, and I'm going to connect them with bones, okay. So let's pretend that this is a hand, and I was going to say this is an arm or something, an arm and make some shapes. Just make 2 objects, okay. Imagine it could be any 2 objects connected, it could be 10 objects. I'm going to drag them into that folder, so they're both within the folder, okay. And for some strange reason I can't see the objects. Oh, they're there, that's where they are, they're right there. Let's move them then. So I guess I was wrong to actually do that in the first place. Okay, hold on. I shouldn't have transformed them over like in the beginning. Hold on, so I go here. I'm just going to just put them any size just quickly. I just want to have some, I want to have them joined and boned together basically. Oh my god, this is so hard to work with. It's like getting on my nerves, man. Oh my days. New project. New project. I have this one. Okay. That's the new project. Let's start again. Folder, object. Got a folder within this now. Gonna move the folder to the front by up in the depth. Bam. Put it on the top as well. Make sure we know what we're doing. Right click on that folder. Click. No. Go to Window, Resources, File, Add Resource. What can we add to this son of a bitch? 1. I'll just add, hang on, 1, 2, where's 2? There's another object here. What's this? Silo sketch, right, these 2. Now, open up this folder. Where's the other folder, man? Okay. Okay, hold on. I'll rename them as well. Okay, so let's see what we're doing now. Oh God. Oh, okay. Goddamn OCD kicking in as well. Okay, now bring those into the... No, hang on. Move them first. See, the background's got to be bigger, hasn't it? This is better. See, we're working with better images this time because the sizes... The background should be much bigger, obviously, than the objects, obviously, right? So we've got these 2 objects here. 2 images. We're going to try and do it, right? So let's work it out. I'm going to make them like kind of overlap and then bend. I put them both into this folder, both within the folder. I can get rid of that back image, we don't need it. So we've got this folder, right? I can move this folder around as we know, okay? Probably can actually move these into a better place as well. More closer to that centre. That's better. Now, add in the bone then. So let's do it. I'm going to add bones to this folder, right? With it, we've clicked on the folder. Both images are within the folder, just like we did before. Left click here, bam, boom, boom. I've added 2 bones to this one odd thing, like add influence. Simple as that. Adding influence. Okay. And then now it works, you see. So it does work. It works. And you can just animate that, the whole thing connected. So it's something to do with the keyframes, I think, that messed up, or maybe it was a glitch before. If I move along here now on the timeline and move it, you see what's happening. See, and I can do all of that, do all these different maneuvers and stuff. You know. And I can still do the movement of the whole thing by animating, by going along to the you can see it says pose there on the under the timeline. If I go to the arrow here on the left, the scale and rotate now, I'm making sure that the folder folder selected, I can move that around and do all that. So I can move this thing anyway and move that around, you know, change the size or whatever I want to do. This could be anything, you know. See, if I press play now and loop it, it's going to move around like this, see? You get all kinds of animation. And at the same time, I don't know if it's got anything to do with those changes of frames and stuff or not. I don't see why it would, but you know, I mean, I could go into one of these frames here. If you want to see which one's which, just click on that eye object, the eye icon there. So for this one, I'm gonna, well, let's just add a new resource, I think, from the start, from the get-go. See what I can find here. Have this. That's a better one. Okay. Right. And we'll just have some changes along the way. So I've clicked on this particular object here, the top one. I'm going to move along on the timeline a little bit. So let's go somewhere in the middle and then move on the timeline. Click on image. Click on one, yeah, see. So I can do that. Now I can move along again a bit. Now click on image. Click back to that. Boom. Click and move along. Image. Click to that. Boom. Same as that. Go back again if I want to do that. Image. Boom. Boom. I can copy those frames. Move along here. And do that. And we've got everything in there now. We've got movement, we've got a boned group of objects as a group, but using the same movement of the bones. It's a folder, that the folder is got the bones, and the folder's moving, containing everything within it, moving, translating, everything. But the images themselves, they can have animated changeable images by going to the images over here. So let's just press play. Click on that arrow. When you click on the arrow over here on the left, it takes off all the stuff you don't want to see on the screen, those images and stuff, you know. I want to just move into view quickly. Hold on. Well, so yeah, with that selected, I can move it, and let's just see. So you want to get everything in an angle. You could do that. Make sure it's all in a nice space for you to work with, you know, whatever, and then just press play. When you click it or do anything, it will stop the playing, so you have to play it again. Press play. I think that's what happened anyway. Oh, it's not set to loop, is it? Is it? Oh, it was set to loop. It was just like long, yeah. So that's that. Don't forget you can zoom in and out on the timeline as well. You can use your on the timeline. You can zoom in and out using the scroll wheel as well. Okay. I'm just going to select everything there, copy them, and just go crazy and just paste them over here. And just press that. And just see what happens. It's going to go crazy there. But that shows you can do a lot of stuff within this. Alright. Kind of taking a while to load. I think it's because there's more of the timeline down here. Yeah, of course you can scroll along with the timeline as well here. See, go again, paste. Not enough space to paste them. That's what the deal was. There's not enough space to paste them. It'll tell you. It can overlap stuff, but it doesn't paste it if there's not enough length at the end of the timeline, time bar. So okay, that's a full rundown more or less of this software. I've not gone over every detail, exactly how to use everything. There's various features we didn't look at. On the left I think as well, but on the right you've got all these different features. When you click on different things here, how to change you can change the opacity over time, meaning how transparent something may be over time as well. Some things have toggles and like just things you can just adjust, but freehand. But some stuff, as I say, has got like numbers. You have to do it by numbers. Like they've got blending modes and stuff here too, which I'm still not too sure about, because that's pretty cool. I think having blending modes, you're familiar with that in art softwares, but you know, it doesn't seem to work from what I've done. I could try like bringing a resource in. I could go to resources, file, add resource, just bring a quick let me see, bring an image or something in, bring a quick texture image or something like that, just really quickly. This one, right? Okay. Bam, boom. Hold on. Layer object, textures. I have to bring that right. It's very small there, but I'm going to go right to the back. Top notice called, right? Check the visibility of that by clicking that, and you'll see which one it is. By clicking that eyeball there at the bottom left, the eyeball thing. Depth, yeah, make sure it's like really further back, so I'll lower down the numbers a lot. Probably gives you an automatic sort of thing at the start anyway, but I'm just saying, make that much bigger. Okay, so we're going to have this as a background. I just kind of forgot what the hell I was going to do there. Hang on, what the hell was I just going to do? Hang on, press in play. So what I want to do, yeah, that's it. I'm going to look at the blending modes, right? That's why I ended. So I want to see if there's any effects else I can do with the blending modes. I got over here. Oh, I had the wrong one selected, yeah, of course. So make sure I'm going to go to the folder. You can't change the blending modes of folders, but images you can, right? So let's try and change that one then. Change to darken. Don't seem to work. Maybe it's because it depends if it's a PNG or a PNG or maybe a JPEG or something. I don't know. Or maybe it's because we're thinking wrong. You know, it's because of the space it's in, the space. You know what I mean? Like the depth and the space is not the same. Like just because this is on top of it, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's something that's to do with that. It's like different to art software. You know, of course, clipped. Strange. Clipped. Don't know what that's about. Huh? So we're not getting any response from that so far, unless I literally have this set to the image here. So what is it? D. Yeah. No, it's saying it's like changing something, or I don't know. We'll leave that then. Rendering, constant, default keys, depth, opacity, image, blah blah blah, and all these different ones here for translated, moving, that which we already know. Adding the opacity over time. I guess we could do that. I guess I could move this then. Let's say, you see that this one, this yin yang sign, it changes as I move, but we can kind of change this layer. This is one image that is flicking through other images, if you know what I mean. It's one image with various versions of itself, basically, by using other images as its It's like we got two characters. It's like you got Mortal Kombat, like Sub-Zero on the left and Shang Tsung on the right. Shang Tsung can morph himself into multiple things, you know. So that's what basically we've got. So we're going to change this yin yang one into. We're going to try and play with the opacity a little bit. So it's like that here. Is it going to add a keyframe? No, it doesn't. So in that case, I don't know then. I guess I'm right by saying that. So if I put the opacity really low now, like this. Yeah, you see? It fades in, doesn't it? It's weird. It kind of fades. It's a linear fade. I guess if I was here, then I'd do it to put it low as well, something like that. Weird. It goes kind of transparent. Then when we get back to here, like more normal. Okay, so we know I could have it like totally fade out right over there, maybe then 0. Yeah, so it fades in and out. Let's see. So I guess you could do that, you know. I guess I could set it invisible for a length of time by setting it invisible at one point, and then over here as well, maybe. Hang on, we can't see it at all now, so let's set it visible here. Okay. Like a ghost yin yang. I know. Maybe we had to set some kind of numbers for that top one. Let's see. Rendering. No, nothing for that. Scale. FFD. I don't know what the hell that's about, this. Okay, I want to say a big thank you to you for watching this video. A really big thank you. Just discard the changes and just watch this. Okay, proper seminar that was on. I think it's a real proper, more or less seminar. We didn't cover absolutely everything, but I think that's a seminar. Kind of rough. Sorry for my mistakes and my babbling, but it's a proper seminar on anime effects. Okay, effects, anime effects. What's this now? The bird animation again. I use various video softwares, as I say. You can use whatever one you want to get to play with the clips and stuff, you know. But yeah, there we go, man. That's how you can animate a little red bird or anything you want. Okay. So thank you very much for watching. Take care now.